And if you just watched my last video, you noticed that I'm still in the tank room, and I wanted to split this video up because this is going to be quite a long video. It's going to be covering a lot of stuff with Koei Tecmo and a little bit of Bandai Namco. So if you enjoyed the last video, hopefully you enjoy this video as well. And if you do, make sure you give it a like, comment, subscribe, share all that fun stuff down below. Don't forget to do that. It helps out my channel and it'll help me be able to get more news out more effectively in the future. So we're going to start with some Dynasty Warriors 9 news, and this is from DualShockers. Dynasty Warriors 9 interview producer talks open world PS4 Pro, Xbox One X gameplay and more. I'm going to be picking and choosing some of the words from this article because it's quite a long one and I'd be spending forever reading it. So I'll just pick and choose some of the more interesting things. Well, things that I found interesting. Quote, first of all, Suzuki-san explained the reason behind the series switch to an open world map. The Dynasty Warriors series has been going on for a long time, and Koei Tecmo heard feedback from its players saying that the series had become a bit repetitive, which I can agree with. The development team wanted to try something different. As a result, they came up with the idea of the open world. Interestingly, we heard that the map is really big and it takes about 3 hours on horseback to travel across it. It also includes many settlements and cities. Depending on the character the player selects and on the timeline, some of them are involved in the war while others are neutral. They can all be visited and explored. And this is a bit of the sad news part of it. Suzuki-san also explained that the team isn't thinking about a Nintendo Switch version of the game at the moment. PS4 Pro, Xbox One X support is also coming, and it's similar to Neo. The game will host two different options that players can select. One mode offers stable 30 FPS with dynamic adaptive resolution starting from 4K, and another mode runs at 60 frames per second but with a lower resolution. So it's a little sad that it's not coming to the Switch. I mean, I feel like the argument of new generation games not being able to run on the Switch is a bit moot at this point, especially with Bethesda bringing Doom and Wolfenstein 2 to the Switch. I think that argument starts to become null and void. Now, it also does depend on the engine that these developers are making their games on, as some of them will be less optimized and able to run on the Switch as they would for PS4 and Xbox One. But still, I think at the same time, there is no real excuse to port these games to the Switch. And it even shouldn't be called porting. They should just bring these games to the Switch. The Switch is hot right now. It's selling a lot of games. There are games that come out on the Switch that sell more than they did on other platforms. They just need to start bringing their games to the Switch. I also found this part of the news pretty interesting. Quote, player's choice won't influence the actual story, as the overall flow of the narrative is linear. So it's interesting that it sounds like there's gonna be choice in this game of things you can do. And here's some more on that. Quote, yet the way a player approaches various encounters will influence following battles. For instance, you can attack an enemy directly, or you can instead pursue secondary objectives first, decreasing the level of the main enemy and making that mission easier. You can also perform tasks for NPCs that will then come to your help in battle. The story is divided in a series of historical time frames, and it's actually impossible to play them all as a single campaign. At the end of each time frame, the power balance on the map completely changes. So I find that pretty interesting that you can do little side objectives to lower the main camps or the main castles or whatever's power to make the maps easier. I actually really like that. It creates a sort of dynamic battle system in the game. There are also other interesting things you can do in this game. There's an aspect of resource gathering. You can collect various elements including food and materials for crafting. Within cities, players can find shops and places where you can meet other officers and generals to have a conversation. So this game keeps sounding better and better as more information comes out. They're really changing things up in this game and I'm really excited for it. Can't wait for it to come out. This is hopefully going to be the best Dynasty Warriors game to date by far. I guess we'll see how things go. And if it goes well, hopefully they'll keep this kind of thing going with all the resource gathering and open world maps. It's pretty exciting. This is going to be the biggest change, I think, to come to these Dynasty Warriors games, and hopefully reflect in these future Samurai Warriors games If there's another Warriors Orochi game, that would be pretty awesome. Now this next item is going to be a nice little two-parter for the Koei Tecmo games that have been announced a while ago to be coming to the Nintendo Switch. Now this is from Gematsu. Dynasty Warriors 8 Empires, Samurai Warriors Spirit of Sanada, and Warriors Orochi 3 Ultimate for Switch screenshots. Quote, Nintendo's official Japanese website has gone live with game pages for the August announced Switch versions of Dynasty Warriors 8 Empire, Samurai Warriors Spirit of Sanada, and Warriors Orochi 3 Ultimate, providing the first screenshots of each title running on the Nintendo console. All three titles are due out for Switch in Japan on November 9th for 6,800 yen each. Nintendo's game pages confirmed the Japanese release will only have Japanese language support. Dynasty Warriors Empires is currently available for PS4, PS3, Xbox One, PS Vita, and PC. Samurai Warrior Spirit of Sanada is currently available for PS4 and PC worldwide, for PS Vita and PlayStation 3 in Japan. And Warriors Orochi 3 Ultimate is available for PS3, PS4, Xbox One, and PS Vita. Now, something sad in this is that so far there's no word on the games coming to the West, and it's going to only be in Japanese. So no English translation or subtitles from what it sounds like. Which is kind of sad because I would really like to play these games. I played Warriors Orochi 3 Ultimate with my wife a lot. I mean, dozens and dozens of hours on the Xbox One. And I would love to play it on the Switch because then she could have her own Switch and have her own copy and stay away from my resources, which would be great. But so far it's seeming like that's not coming. Plus, it sucks that they're charging so much for like, what is it, a 6-year-old game at this point. I would love to play Samurai Warriors Spirit of Sanada because I missed that one on the PS4. Love to get it on the Switch and play that there, but again, no word yet if it's coming to the West, and sadly no English subtitles. So that's the first part of that news. Then today they decided to come out with trailers for the games, and I got this from DualShockers. Quote, Koei Tecmo launched the first trailers for 3 of their titles coming to the Nintendo Switch: Samurai Warriors Spirit of Sanada, Dynasty Warriors 8 Empires, and Warriors Orochi 3 Ultimate. Each game has been released across multiple platforms, and now they'll make their way to the new console hybrid. The trailers show that much of the graphical integrity of the titles have been kept in these versions, but it should be mentioned that these games were also released on the PlayStation Vita in Japan. However, many Muzu titles only require a stable frame rate to be truly enjoyable by fans. Additionally, custom DLC for each of the titles will be included on the cart. At this time, these ports are only announced for Japan to release on November 6th, but there is always a chance that the West will receive the Switch version at a later date. This announcement definitely shows the Nintendo Switch as a valuable system for the publisher. Also, these ports breathe new life into these titles as they might have been overlooked by potential fans otherwise. So, these trailers are awesome. There are DLC costumes that I had never seen before in Warriors Orochi 3, which I would have loved to play in the Warriors Orochi 3 on the Switch. Sadly, again, no Western release and no English subtitles in the Japanese version. Also, something's been brought to my attention that these games are essentially PS Vita ports, which sucks even more that they're charging so much for these games for a PS Vita port and not a PS4 Xbox One port. So that kind of blows. I would like to have seen better graphical fidelity in these games, especially for the price that they're charging, but they're charging for PS Vita ports, which it almost makes me want to just get it on the Vita instead of the Switch. But I'll probably still end up getting it on the Switch because the Switch is awesome. And I'll also show some comparative screenshots, as you can see, of what somebody had posted in a forum thread, comparing some screenshots of the game on the PS Vita and, as they like to call it, other systems, which I think it might be PC, I don't know, but it kind of sucks how much of a graphical difference it is between these games and what it's going to look like on the Switch. So you'll see the screenshots, you can decide on what matters to you. Hopefully, since it's going to be essentially a PS Vita port, it might at least unlock 60 frames per second. That would be awesome at the very least, but we'll see how this goes. Now for the final piece of news, and this is from Bandai Namco, and this is via DualShockers. God Eater 3 gets first 1080p screenshots showing protagonists, new art Origami, and World. Quote, today Bandai Namco Entertainment released the first direct feed 1080p screenshots of the upcoming mainline God Eater game, God Eater 3. The screenshots showcase a variety of origami enemies, including one that can change its stance between bipedal and quadruped, also radically altering its attack patterns. We also get to see a new God art, the main weapon used by the God Eaters, and the new main protagonist. He has a few mysterious traits, the most interesting of which is the damage Fenrir's, sorry I got that wrong, Fenrir insignia on his outfit. Several battle scenes are also showcased, on top of a look on the game's environments, which will be completely new. The game will in fact change locations from the far east branch to the area around Fenrir HQ. You can enjoy the full gallery below, which you'll be seeing in this video. Incidentally, God Eater 3 isn't the only game in development for the series, as mobile JRPGs set 4 years after God Eater 2 Rage Burst is also coming. So that kind of sucks, mobile game, but whatevs. At the moment, we haven't heard a release date or even a window, and we don't know the platforms it'll be released on, besides the vague home consoles. The game's development is only 30% complete, so it's probably a long way off. So home consoles, hopefully that means a Switch, maybe not. I know you guys get tired of me saying that, but I hope it does come to the Switch as well, as this game looks beautiful, like incredibly beautiful. I played a little bit of God Eater 2, I didn't really get that far into it, but God Eater 3 looks impressive, and I will definitely play that, especially if it comes to the Switch. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff down below. Again, really appreciate it. If you like seeing this kind of news, make sure you subscribe, put on the bell notification for the quickest updates on when my videos go live. Thanks again for watching, Net Battlers, and I'll catch you guys later. Time to jack out.